This is Galen Young speaking on business. Stinson Stationers in Bakersfield began back in 1947. Now, 61 years later, the company is flourishing even in an uncertain economy. Ben tells me his father lost a grocery store business during the Depression and eventually came up with the idea of a stationery and office product store to ensure more security and dependability. At the time, there was only one other office supply company in town. So he opened his shop on Baker Street near Old Town Kern. And as luck would have it, 3 other office supply shops opened that same year too. But as it turns out, Stinson's is the only one of all those that has survived after all these years. So what has been owner Ben Stinson's secret? Stinson has grown in strong double digits financially over the past 16 years, a great tribute to the company. But Stinson credits the growth because of his focus on people. People, he says, are his assets, both his customers and his employees. Ben Stinson says he personally guarantees it won't cost you more money to do business with him and that his level of service will be the best in the industry. He also guarantees that you'll never meet Mr. Depot or Mr. Staples or Mr. Max, but you can come in and always talk to Mr. Stinson. In fact, he'll even come to your office if you need him. So diversity, personal service, and a strong dose of positive mental attitude seem to be the winning combination for Stinson Stationery. This is Galen Young speaking on business, brought to you by the people at Rabobank, who want to be your business bank, on News Talk 1410 KERN. This is Galen Young speaking on business. Another of Bakersfield's unusual landmarks may be going away. We've all seen the rather large horse statue on top of the Bakersfield Veterinary Hospital on Chester. Last month, that hospital essentially closed its doors to move to its brand new location off Harris Road, just west of Sam's Club. The old hospital on Chester has been there for 80 years, but for a long time has been too small for their needs, according to veterinarian Michael Keese. He's one of 11 vets now who have combined their practices into the new state-of-the-art building. Keese got his start several years ago with the Regional Occupational Center program and was eventually hired as an intern and then full-time as the Chester Hospital location. In fact, he trained under the woman who would eventually become his wife. Things worked out so well for him that he's since become one of the owners of the new facility. He says having a new facility is really important for Bakersfield Animal Care because the facility is so large, but what makes it unusual is this is the first veterinary hospital in Bakersfield to now operate 24/7, 365. That means 24 hours a day, all week, all year. Key says the new facility will not only treat sick animals, but there is boarding, long-term care, grooming, and many other services available. This is Galen Young speaking on business, brought to you by the people at Rabobank, who want to be your business bank, on News Talk 1410 KERN. This is Galen Young speaking on business. Recently, I wondered what might be out there for students job-wise during summer months. I discovered at least a couple of students from the Regional Occupational Center had worked as interns for a local graphics shop. Bianca Hurtado and Brian Bautista were working as graphic artist interns at what used to be G. Gentrix Graphics on California Avenue and H. Owner Ruben Gonzalez has just purchased the location, which was a converted gas station once, and is changing the name to Digital Design Graphics. He says he needed the interns to help him in his new startup business. He tells me that no matter how much you plan and how much you budget for startup costs, it's always going to cost you more. So the students working for credit instead of pay helped him tremendously. This isn't the first business for Gonzalez. He actually began Code 3 uniforms a few years ago, which he says has a nice steady business for all year, usually. But lately, since the business has slowed because of the economy, even for law enforcement officers, it's nice to have some other businesses to fall back on, like the screen printing business. Gonzalez began to offer specialized embroidery work for the uniforms and for other customers at an office next door, and that led him to a screen printing business for shirts and other graphic arts at the California Avenue location. He says lots of hard work, long hours of course, putting out good products at a fair and competitive price, and establishing a strong reputation were the most important things. This is Galen Young speaking on business, brought to you by the people at Rabobank, who want to be your business bank, on News Talk 1410 KERN.